This is just a quick little bit just before the main video starts. I'm aware there's clicking the whole way through. I left the metronome on the recording device and I can't take it out. But don't worry, the next video, which I've just filmed, doesn't have it in. Enjoy! Hello, welcome to Music Motors and welcome to the 2019 Honda CR-V. Now, the CR-V's been around for years and years and years. In fact, it's probably the best-selling SUV in the world, within reason. Now this one, the new variant, isn't powered by a big 2-litre petrol or a 2-litre diesel. This one, for instance, is powered by a 1.5-litre VTEC petrol engine, which produces 173 PS, 220 Newton meters of torque, tops out 130 miles an hour, gets to 62 miles an hour in around about 10 seconds, and this one has all-wheel drive. This is an EX model. This one costs £37,000 on the road with the exterior colour of premium crystal red metallic. If you want to go for a bottom end one, which is still equally as lovely, you can be paying around £27,000 on the road. If you enjoy this video, please make sure to like, subscribe and comment on the video and let me know what you thought about it, because I really appreciate the support and I really appreciate the interaction and getting to know the people who watch my videos. The city economy test. Now, this is powered by a 1.5-litre petrol engine. It's not the hybrid. The hybrid's coming next. What can this get around town? With the CVT box, it does seem quite effortless in how it drives, and with 170 PS, it is quite nippy when it needs to be. But what's the real world going around town fuel economy? What's it going to be? So 30.8 isn't bad around town, considering there was quite a lot of start-stop. The thing that hinders this the most is its lack of start-stop technology. It's just sat there idling, bringing down the fuel economy while you're sat. It's not an easy car to switch off and turn on without having to faff around and having the annoyance of annoying other drivers. So with that facility, this would have done substantially better. With a clear run, that would have been much higher. Now, from the outside, Honda have this new lovely design language, which is kind of uniform throughout their different models in the range. However, in the CR-V, it looks very bold, but not like the new Toyota RAV4 bold, which to me just looks absolutely disgusting. This is a very pretty car, finished on the outside with 19-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. It's sleek. The only problem is that the front end looks great and has that very Japanese kind of design, which means the front kind of bulges out, which means when it comes to tighter situations you feel like the car's bigger than it actually is. But from that design point of view, it looks amazing. Every panel on this car is absolutely brilliantly finished. The only thing that I've noticed on the outside of this particular one is that there's lots of orange peel, but I think that is just to do with Honda paint. That's just how they come out. BMWs are kind of prone to it as well. So really, this is what you would certainly call a good-looking SUV. It is a sports utility vehicle, and it looks somewhat that it could do off-roading. It has decent ground clearance. The approach and exit angles are quite decent on this, meaning that while you won't be able to do any hardcore off-roading, especially to save those diamond cut alloy wheels, you are going to be able to do some medium stuff, which means if you happen to go near a field, a muddy field, and you're going to be doing some soccer, let's insert the soccer mum stereotype here, you're not going to struggle. The all-wheel drive's great. So from the outside, it looks very sporty, it looks very SUV, and it looks very Honda. Everything is finished as you would expect. The light clusters look really, really good. They offer really good visibility from anywhere from the driving point of view, or as someone just looking, they can see you. So generally on the outside, it is a well-composed piece. With the CR-V being the best-selling SUV in the segment, I need to find out why that is. So I need to test out the family capabilities. So the only way I can test family capabilities is seeing how much equipment I can fit in the back, because then that's relative to buggies, pushchairs, everything else children need. They just need them, right? Those two bits, that's my first part of my gig test, my Music Motors test. How much equipment can I fit in the back? Step inside and you get into a world of, well, typically Honda luxury. This is a place which is finished superbly well with lots of luxury items. You have very comfortable and well made leather seats, combined with a really, really good seating position, lovely soft touch plastics all over. And they have that fake leather stitching on it, but then again, it also gives you that premium finish. The only thing that I found on the interior I didn't like, which goes with models of, it goes with any Honda really, is the infotainment. It's better. It is always getting better, but it's still considerably behind the competition, which is a real letdown because, for instance, lovely wood trim, really luxury finish, fantastic panoramic sunroof. You're talking about a technologically advanced car with a really, really good CVT box. There's no issues in this box whatsoever. In fact, this is one of the nicest CVT boxes I've ever driven. This is such a forward-thinking car on the inside. Let's talk technology. Heads-up display, standard on an EX model. There's so many different bits and pieces, including rear seat heating, that I just feel that the infotainment let you down. However, the sound system did not. Punchy, powerful, really exactly what you want. It's adaptive so that, for instance, if you might have a bit of a deficit to mids because you've listened to too many mid-heavy things and you need to turn this up, it's very controllable. It's very loud and punchy without compressing. It's exactly what you want from a family SUV. Loud enough to drown the kids out, but not enough to deafen you while doing it. When you get to your rear seat passengers, well, they've got bundles and bundles of legroom. There's more than enough space, and there's a 7-seat option. Get to the boot, there is unparalleled amounts of space. Maybe not as big as you're going to put up to something like an X5, because obviously that's a slightly different segment, but for the segment that this vehicle is in, that has more than enough space than you could ever need to use. It's an easy load height, it's an easy everything to get into. It takes up everything, and I've said everything a lot, exactly as you need it. So the interior is a well composed and put together area which gives you more than enough amenities, anything that you could possibly need, especially on an EX model. Obviously on S you're going to get slightly less. It's a vehicle which from the inside the capabilities are suited to absolutely anyone. So this isn't just a family SUV, this could be anybody's SUV. This is an SUV which is so well put together that, as I said at the beginning, this is probably the best selling SUV in the world. Now it's time for a bit of a fuel economy challenge with my equipment in the back. 65 miles an hour generally, with lots of motorways going on to B roads, up and down 50 mile an hour sections. What is this going to return in a real world? So 40.2 was achievable. On the motorway I did end up racking it up a little bit more, up to 70 were appropriate, and then sitting back down to 65. The back roads were pretty easy. That was a fairly gentle run, so 40 is not bad and not far off what Honda claimed. So really as a combined run that's pretty decent, although it did have more motorway than B road. So on to performance and economy. Let's start with economy. Now Honda claimed that around town you're going to get about 37 miles per gallon. On a run you're going to see about 47, and combined you're going to get 43. This is one of those rare times that I say that really you're actually not far off getting that. Around town you'll quite easily see 35 miles per gallon within reason. If you were to hit onto the motorway, then you're quite likely to see up to about 44, 45, and combined you're probably more likely to see about 39. That's not far off the claims they're making. Now the thing is that you need to remember this is powered by a 1.5 litre petrol engine. Now while it does produce 173 PS and it does have 220 Newton meters of torque, that is a tiny engine. It's having to run a lot of boost. So that initial inertia around town takes a little bit more. So really that around town driving is really surprising to get that. To move from that point onwards onto the performance, well, as I said, 173 PS, 220 Newton meters of torque. This tops out at 130 miles an hour, and it gets there in about 10 seconds. That's because this is the CVT all-wheel drive. It's the heavier, and obviously CVT is a little bit slower. But it doesn't feel slow. It feels nimble. It feels quick on back roads. It feels completely capable. Brake feel and steering feel is very likable. You get steering response. It's not numb. From a performance point of view, this gives you performance which you wouldn't expect because it's not a performance car. And while it's not fast by any means, it is definitely quick. Now you can get this in a 6-speed manual, or you can get it in the CVT, which is what I've got. Now the CVT boxes to me sometimes are a little bit wussy. And this isn't. You just put your foot down and it picks up as it needs to go. Now obviously at times CVT does sound like your granddad's driving, but this does a really good job of not sounding like that. And so to summarise, this EX model is simply superb. It's expensive at £37,000 with this lovely paint option, but at the same time it's worth it for the tech. The only thing that I feel is outdated in the entire car is the infotainment system, and really that's not too bad if you think about it. The S models start at £27,000 on the road, and with those you get extra tech as standard as you would to competitors. In the EX you have so much capability, so much practicality. I think it's worth £37,000 if you're prepared to deal with a slightly out-of-dated infotainment system, but that's it. Otherwise the car is so perfectly put together. That's why it's probably the best-selling SUV in the world.